Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to make this video because I find myself all the time going back and forth about which prop firm has the best rules, which prop firms have the best value, which account size offers the best value. Because as you guys know, there's a lot of changes happening in the space on a regular basis. So, we're always calculating this based on the changes that the firms are making. So I made a calculation based on mostly 50K accounts between my three favorite end of day drawdown prop firms. So we're gonna start off with Trade Day, and their eval cost is currently 132 with this coupon code right here. That's a savings of 20%, and the all-in account cost is 271 because they have an activation fee now. So like the other ones, you have to pay once you pass your eval. And the drawdown on a 50K account is $2,000. Now, one of my favorite things about Trade Day is they have some of the best ratios on evals, right? So you'll see it right here where I calculated the drawdown um, divided by the profit target, and that tells you basically what percentage of your drawdown is equal. Like, what's your drawdown divided by your profit target? So, like, if it's 1,500 profit target, $1,500 drawdown, the answer would be one. And if it's $2,000 drawdown, $4,000 profit target, it would be 0.5, which is half. So, if you can look at here, the higher this ratio is typically for trade day accounts. So this is their 50K account, and this is their 25K account. And I'll go over that towards the end, and I'll share why I included it. So yeah, trade day has the best drawdown to profit target ratio to me compared to what I've seen. The only other competitor I would say that's also pretty competitive is UProfit, but they don't offer Tradeovate yet, so I did not include them in this video. But Trade Day was one of the first firms that had really good profit target and good drawdown without a daily loss limit. So kudos to Trade Day for that. And to calculate the cost of capital, like my formula I created is basically I divided the dollar amount you pay for the account, and I divide that by the total drawdown that you get. And to me, the way I look at it in my head, this is not advice, this is how I do it. I just look at that almost like the interest rate, and this is, to me, in my head, I view it that way because that's what I'm paying to get access to this drawdown. So from that perspective, it's in this scenario, it would be 0.1355. So basically 13%. So you're paying 13 cents to access a dollar in my head. And to calculate the efficiency of that, I also wanted to include the drawdown in comparison to that ratio of the cost to drawdown. So I divided this ratio here by this ratio. And I wanted to include that because, prop firm can give you, $5,000 drawdown for $20. But if your profit target is $100,000, you should account for that somewhere. So I wanted to account for that. So I divided this ratio by this number to make it more accurate in my perspective. And then also the other thing that separates these prop firms is the cost of resets. For some prop firms, the reset is the same cost of your account, your eval, and then some prop firms, the reset is a fixed number for all account sizes. So with Trade Day, they have a fixed amount for resets, and it's $100 no matter what the account size is. And this is interesting because this benefits you a lot if you have a larger account size. So if you have like a 200K account or 250, whatever their highest account size is, the reset's still the same. So you might have paid $300-$400 for the eval, but the reset is going to be the same amount, which is that's pretty cool if you're one of those guys that trades all large account sizes. So I wanted to factor that in also with my ratio. So I made another ratio for the reset cost divided by the eval cost. So in this scenario, a reset is going to cost you about 75% of the cost of the eval. So there's some savings over just buying a new account. So I wanted to get the efficiency like by including factoring in the profit target and the reset. So I basically divided this ratio here by this ratio. And what I basically got is 0.128. And this basically means if you pass it on your first try, this is basically going to be like the number, right? But if you pass it on your second try, it would be this. And this is basically like in my head, just the way I quantify it. Like this is how it makes sense for me. Topstep has lower evals, right? So their evals cost $49, but they get you on the back end because Topstep has an activation fee of $149. So the account cost is going to be still close to around $200. Your drawdown same $2,000, and the profit target is $3,000. The drawdown divided by profit target is about 2/3 or 0.67. And you're going to have a ratio for the cost of capital of less than 10%, 0.099. And then the efficiency on that, to me, is 0.1485. The resets for Topstep is the same cost of the evaluation. So the answer to this would be 1. Like reset divided by eval cost is 1 because it's the same amount. And the number you get for like buy efficiency ratio number is 0.1485. So in this scenario, this would be better than Topstep for me. But Topstep is tricky. And I went back and forth on how to calculate this for Topstep because Topstep has something that these other firms don't, and that is a daily loss limit. And that's the amount of money you're allowed to lose in one single day. And I didn't base my calculation on that because Topstep does not fail you for hitting your loss limit in a day. They'll give it to you the next day. But if we were to change the drawdown from 2,000 to 1,000, this number changes significantly. It goes from like 0.14 something to 0.59 out of 1, which is really high compared to this. So if I undo that, it goes from 0.1485. So that's something to consider, and that does have a real impact because you might blow up quicker in an account because of the smaller drawdown available to you intraday. That has to be accounted for. I think this still is the most fair way to account for that. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of value, I think this could be better if they had the full access to the $2,000 drawdown because everybody else is offering it. My funded future starter account have evals going for $100, and the sales are sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not, which is why I put the regular price. And the all-in account cost is $249 because they also have a activation fee similar to Topstep. $2,000 drawdown, $3,000 profit target. So same drawdown across all 3 accounts, $2,000. But these 2 right here are the only ones that give you the full 2,000, without any daily loss limit. So that really is important. The profit target is $3,000, which is only $500 more than the profit target for trade day. So the drawdown to profit target is 0.67, which is the same as Topstep. So there you go. Now for the cost of capital, with my formula is 0.1245, which is basically 12.5%. And the efficiency ratio number that I got is 0.1485. 18675. And this is mostly because they do have a pretty higher all-in cost than the other ones, except for trade day. But we'll see why that is in a second. So the efficiency number, like the cost of capital is lower than trade day, but their efficiency ratio is higher, and that's because they have a higher profit target. So yes, you get the same $2,000, but you have to make an extra $1,000, and that matters because in this scenario you have to make 125%. So they gave you 2,000, you have to make an extra $500. This one you have to make basically 150%, right? Like this is your real account value, 2,000. They're not giving you $50,000. So they're giving you $2,000 and telling you to make three. So that's why, in terms of the efficiency ratio, to me, this is higher than both of these, both Topstep and Trade Day, because their the evals cost more than Topstep. Their activation fee is the same as Topstep. Their profit target is still the same. So, Topstep, the eval's cheaper, so it helps them a little bit, but it's just what it is. And the reset is also similar to Trade Day, where it's just a flat $100, no matter the account size with the starter accounts. If you divide the reset cost to the eval cost, you still get one. And for like my efficiency ratio, I got 0.18675. So this is the highest of the bunch because you're paying for the eval $100 and you're paying $149 for the activation fee to make the total account cost to get into a funded account $249. They also offer an expert account with less rules and more freedom and flexibility, but the initial cost is higher. The initial cost is $165 with no additional activation cost. So all in, the expert account is cheaper than the starter account. And the expert account also does not allow micros, which whatever. And they also have no consistency rule in the funded account on the expert account either. So that makes a huge difference, specifically for me. I've been in situations where I had a lot of money I made in the account and I couldn't withdraw it because I had to make like a couple $1,000s more in order to withdraw it. And that's just, it's frustrating, but I don't like consistency rules in funded accounts. And you're paying for that. Because you're going to the expert account, the profit target increases from 3,000 to 4,000, like a 33% increase. So again, you're getting the same amount of capital in drawdown, but you have to make more money in the account to get funded. The drawdown to profit target ratio is half, so they give you half, $1 to make $2 basically. And the cost of capital with this is pretty low. It's 0.0825, which is actually lowest amongst all of the accounts. But you end up paying for that through having a higher profit target. So the efficiency ratio I gave them when you factor in the higher profit target is actually 0.165, which is really more in line with what you see from Trade Day. And the resets, again, $100, my funded futures. Actually, no, it's not. The reset is 165. So let's see how this changes the numbers. Okay, yeah, so it stays the same, 0.165. So again, it's better than the starter, worse than Topstep, kind of, because of the daily loss limit. So, yeah. And this is a pretty good account. I've actually made a couple withdrawals on several expert accounts, so I have no problems with my funded futures and the expert account. I also have a discount code for my funded futures, and whatever the latest promotion is, you can get it by using this code right here, Honest Prop Trader. I included the Trade Day 25K account because after looking at it closely, it looks a lot like the 50K account because the drawdown is only $500 less, but the profit target is $1,000 less. So you're getting $500 less in drawdown but you're also getting a significantly lower profit target. So the 25K account with Trade Day with the coupon code right here, it's $100. Your account cost all in with the activation fee is going to be $239, about around there. This does not include taxes or fees. The drawdown is 1,500. The profit target is 1,500. So you have to make it basically 100% to get into a funded account. And the cost of capital ratio that I have is 0.159333, which is looks pretty higher than the other ones. But because the profit target and drawdown is the same, it doesn't go up because it doesn't go up in this ratio when I factor in the profit target, which is a good thing. And that actually makes this efficiency ratio lower than all the other ones except for the Topstep, which again, this is not a fully accurate number because they have a daily loss limit to me. So yeah, I still think this is one of the best deals on this screen. And their resets are $100, and the ratio for that is 1 because it's the same cost as the cost of the eval. And the efficiency ratio for me, if you factor in the reset, is 0.159333. I included Topstep 100K because I actually do believe the Topstep 100K account is really similar to these 50K accounts from Trade Day and my funded futures, because it actually gives you a $2,000 daily loss limit. And that's basically what you get with these two, where the difference is if you hit your limit in this account, you didn't fail the account. You have another $1,000 to try the next day. Whereas with these two, if you lose $2,000 in a single day, you're done. You have to buy a new eval or reset. But you're paying for that. So for Topstep 100K, the eval cost is $99, but the all-in account cost is $248. And this is also another benefit. So with Topstep, the activation cost stays the same no matter what the account size is. And that is true for, I want to say all of these. For Topstep, my funded futures, yeah, and Trade Day as well. Yeah, so all three of these, the activation fee does not change with account size. That's not true for all companies. So in this situation, yeah, okay, your all-in Topstep cost is actually lower than your 50K with Trade Day. But remember, you're paying for that because you have a much higher profit target. So you have $2,000 in daily loss limit to make 6K. And then here you have $2,000 in daily loss limit to make 2,500. So for me, I'm not a fan of, daily loss limits. I just think they're not competitive. So the ratio for the profit target to the drawdown is half. They give you $3,000 to make $6,000. Cost of capital here is 0.082, again, which is very low, but that doesn't tell the full picture because that does not account for the profit target. So when you factor in the profit target using my formula, it actually goes up to 0.165, which is really in line with the other ones, to be honest. And when you factor in the cost of their resets, which is the same cost of the eval, the ratio is going to be 1 for that. And this is your final number, 0.165333. Now, there's lots of nuances here. This does not tell the full story, because once you're in a funded account, they all have way different policies about how to get payouts. So Trade Day used to be you can withdraw profits whenever, and now you have to hit your buffer before you are able to withdraw. But with Trade Day, you're able to withdraw into your buffer from your first payout. With my funded futures, you cannot do that. With the starter or expert, you cannot do that. You have to withdraw above your buffer. So to me, again, the buffer is like the second eval. So that's one thing. Topstep requires 5 days of profitability of making more than $200 per day, where you can withdraw, I believe, half of the account. I think that's pretty fair and reasonable. So again, this is how I calculate value. I think the best bets for me I like is this one, my trade day 25K. I've never done it before with this account with them, but I'll actually consider it now because I think it's a good deal. And Topstep, I don't like this number because it appears more competitive than it really is. Um, I think personally, in my head, I think this is more fair. Um, so I think basically you have $1,000 in any given day to try to earn 3,000. But sometimes I've seen in my experience this extra drawdown, having the full amount available makes a difference sometimes. So like if you compare this to this, it's not something that's great of a deal. Like you're paying $200 to have $1,000 per day in drawdown, whereas with the other ones, you're actually you're paying 249 to get 2K in drawdown, and you can use the whole 2K in a whole day. So I think trade days really competitive, and I also think my funded futures isn't bad either. If, if I'm gonna go for my funded futures, I'm definitely probably gonna get the expert account. So that's my opinion. You guys can share in the comments if you guys think my calculations make sense. If you don't agree with it, if you do agree with it. Again, if you want to save some money on your next eval, check out my promo codes right here. And thanks for watching, guys. I know this was a long video, so if you made it here, thank you. And please, please, please subscribe to my channel. I need all the help you guys can give me. I want to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so help me support the channel by liking, commenting, and definitely subscribing, please.